It's time for Side Scrollers with me, Stuttering Craig.
You decide when you lose, not other people.
And Blabs.
I like pickles.
And co-hosted by our friends from around the internet. If you like common sense, hit that thumbs up button and, of course, the subscribe button. And join us Monday through Friday live at 11 a.m. Central Time. And now, broadcasting from our homes, it's time for the #1 gaming and entertainment podcast on God's green earth. It's time for Side Scrollers.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Oh, welcome on out to Side Scrollers on YouTube.com and Rumble.com and Twitch.tv and Spotify and Kick and everywhere else on God's green internet. Hello, everybody. I'm Stuttering Craig. Happy Tuesday to you. Man, do we got a good one today. I am beyond excited to be hanging out with these fine folks. God dang it, it's going to be exciting, isn't it, Blabs?
Yeah, hi. Happy Tuesday.
It's good to see you. How are you? Everything good?
Good. Yeah, I was just thinking before, I really like potatoes. I kind of want french fries.
All right, sounds good.
You.
Hey, Yellow Flash, favorite type of potato?
Well, I really like cheesy potatoes.
Of the scallop variety?
Just like hash browns with like a lot of cheese mixed in. Cheese. I don't make them. I just eat them.
You do the onions on top as well?
No.
No onions.
No onions.
That's an important question. Speaking of important, I'm very excited to have Kneon on from Clownfish TV.
Why?
I'm really excited, man. I've wanted to have you on for a long time. It's great stuff.
Well,
Kneon,
thank you.
Are you an onion guy?
An onion guy?
Yeah.
No, I'm
No?
not an onion guy. No.
We ask the
No.
important questions on Side
Yeah.
Scrollers.
No.
Do you do the potato, the cheesy potato?
I do not do potatoes at all. I do not like potatoes. I'm very weird about my food. I do like yams though. They count? Like
Yeah, that's a good question. It does the Blab's first question of the day on the poll: do yams count as potatoes? I
had
believe
already
they do.
started a poll. I was like, do you like potatoes?
Oh, well then let's go with that. That's
no,
fine.
the answer is
Potatoes.
no. I'm
You're the first person I've ever met who doesn't like potatoes.
Who
I don't
doesn't like
No.
potatoes? I
I don't like bacon either. I'm weird.
What?
I just
I'm
I
sorry.
hate
Very
bacon.
un-American.
I know.
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Are you sure you're not from Canada? Oh no, Canada like Canadian bacon. So I don't.
Well, it's like
At least
ham.
like
That's
that.
not actually, I can do ham. I don't like bacon.
You can do hams and yams.
Yeah, hams and yams. Yeah.
Man,
I'm
well, I'll tell you what.
rhyme.
Today on the show, we're going to be talking about some jams because we're going to be talking about that Lady Ballers thing from Daily Wire, which will be great. Look, we got a great show, guys. I'm really excited to have everybody here. We're going to have Kneon for an hour with us today. So when Kneon has to bounce, that's great.
I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry. We're just excited that you're here. I want to invite you guys to hit the follow button over on Rumble at rumble.com/sidescrolls. Join us over there as we get closer to 5,000 followers over there. We have a Twitter account where you can follow us and get clips and all sorts of good stuff. We're going to be posting more longer form videos over there as we get into 2024. So make sure you guys, it's going to be like another YouTube for us. So go over there and follow us, which is great. We have an Instagram, don't we, Blabs?
Yeah, and our goal is to hit 1K by the end of 2023. So get your butts over on Instagram. Thank you.
Yeah, if you guys like to follow on the old Insta. We also have a Kick and a Spotify and everywhere else. We passed 57,100 followers in the last day. So do us a favor, hit the subscribe button if you guys are brand new to the show. We'd love for you guys to join us Monday through Friday at 11 a.m. Central Time as we kick some serious ass and knock some common sense back into this world of insanity. Do us a favor, hit the thumbs up button. We'd really appreciate that. Our goal is always 300 thumbs up. Will you help us? Sure you will. Just scroll the little mouse over there and hit the thing. And let's see if we hit 20 memberships today. I will not be playing games after the stream today over on the Side Scrollers Plays channel because my daughter got hurt again. She may have broke her pinky this time.
Oh my gosh.
So I got to take her to the doctor. So we got the guys. This is like the third time in a year that I've had to take her to the doctor.
Child services and be like, what's she doing?
I got to be honest.
She plays sports.
Yeah, she plays sports. She's very athletic, but she just can't seem to stay on the field or the court or anything else, which is a shame. So, so there you go. Okay, Kneon, what do we need to promote? You got anything going on we need to talk about? Podcast or anything like that?
Oh, yeah. So D-Res podcast, we're bringing it back starting hopefully within the next week or two. And, if you're sick of looking at my face, I'm sorry, you're probably going to have to look at my face on that. But we do longer interviews with people. We're trying to get more creators from the video game industry, from comics, from movies, whoever we can get that's interesting to talk to. So we have longer conversations. People miss that. We haven't done that in a long time because the algorithm doesn't seem to like it very much. When you actually have thoughtful discussions.
Right. That's great. Well, and obviously, everyone can go head over and subscribe to Clownfish TV. Great daily news channel. Just like our boy Yellow Flash, who has a outstanding channel as well. So make sure you guys head over there and subscribe to both. Yellow Flash, you got anything you want to talk about or share before we get into all the good stuff?
No, not really. Not today. Check out Flashcast every Saturday.
Nice. I know. I gotta get on there one day. Saturdays are tough, man. When you're Daddy-O, it's tough stuff.
I am working on a comic book, but I'm trying to clear up some legal stuff with the name.
I
don't want to get sued.
Ronald McDonald's, like
no,
Mickey Mouse.
So my characters, I just double checking everything to make sure no one's using the names, and one of them, when I looked it up, is the name of a mobility scooter.
Is it like Vespa?
Yeah.
It's like fuck. So I'm trying to make sure I'm not going to get in trouble, and
awesome.
It's probably nothing because I don't see how you could mess. Like, how could you get confused with a mobility scooter in a comic book? But I mean, we've recently seen someone get sued over a church in a comic book, so
that's true.
I'm trying to make sure that I don't quite have the money to fight it. Like, and no disrespect, I love Eric. Eric is on a much higher success plane than me right now.
Just making a few $1 million every year.
Yeah.
Comics, which is good. By the way, is your character Rascal?
No.
Okay. Getting around in your little scooter, which is good. By the way, we have a new formation on the show today. Check this out. Blabs, get the hell out. Oh, there you are. There you are, Blabs.
What?
Nope. Blabs can hang out in the corner, and when Blabs has things she wants to say, she can pop in at any time. People have been like, "What's Blabs doing on the show?" She's just hanging out. So Blabs
in the corner.
So Blabs gets placed in the corner here, which is great. So
it's my timeout.
What's that?
It's my timeout.
Yeah, go in the corner, which is great. Mm-hmm. Hey, before we get into hard news, Lance Corporal Hawk came in with the $4.99 super chat. Says, taters? What's taters, precious? Potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in the stew.
And yet you don't even know where that's from.
I'm going to say probably something along the lines of Harry Potter.
No, it's Lord of the Rings, you Neanderthal. Go away.
Oh, no. Well, then say it like they didn't say in that show.
Taters? What taters, precious? Potatoes. Boil them, mash them, stick them in stew.
Okay, there you go.
That's
Love
my
it.
best Samwise.
Who's Samwise? Melodic Method came in with a 10, says Kneon. What is the spelling of the D-Res podcast class? Glad to see you on Side Scrollers. How do you spell it?
D-REZZED.
All right, there you go.
Yeah.
Melodic Method.
Like Tron,
Oh yeah. Of course. Dude came in at the one over on Rumble, says, will we get a geeky wahoo the next time Clownfish appears on Side Scroller?
Maybe, if I can talk her into it. We've been pretty busy the last 6 years.
The better part of
Oh yeah,
years.
Yeah.
Which is good. Congratulations on the growth and everything.
Thanks.
Which sounds, growth has a weird connotation, but just whatever. Anyways, let's get into it. It's time for my favorite segment, your favorite segment, everybody in the world's favorite segment. It's time for hard news. Hard news. Thank you, Adam. Thank you, Paul. Thank you, Eric, for the yeehaw. Actually, let's bring in Blabs here. Blabs, I want you to lead us through the story because you wanted to talk about this one today. We are going to start off with some hardcore video game news coming from the world of Sony as they are facing an $8 billion class action lawsuit over PlayStation Store prices. Blabs, walk us through.
Well, basically, people have been paying overpriced items on the PlayStation Store, and now Sony and PlayStation have to go and, I guess, give money back. I don't know really how that's going to work. Be like, oh, you paid $20 extra. Here it is. Take it. And I don't know how well this is going to work.
So Flash, I believe you covered this story. Have you talked about this story? You mentioned this before.
Is this a new lawsuit?
No, this is from a week ago. This is in the
This
last
is new, I think. Then, what's the details of this one?
Well, here are the highlights. Thanks to Gamer Rant for the article here. It says Sony is facing essentially an $8 billion class action lawsuit over alleged overcharging on a PlayStation 4 for digital games sold. This is something that we talk about a lot, obviously, from a gaming perspective. Is should digital games be cheaper than physical games? Right, and I think that's where a lot of this stems from. The lawsuit is part of a broader debate in digital storefronts on the commission fees charged by companies like Apple and Sony. This is that 30% that they effectively have a 30% ownership of everything that is sold. Despite Sony's effort to have the case thrown out, the lawsuit has been allowed to be moved forward and could potentially cost Sony billions of dollars. So listen up, ladies and gentlemen. If you've ever bought anything on the PlayStation Store, you could be entitled for some sweet, sweet moolah coming back.
But I believe this is only for the UK.
Well, I mean, hey, I'm just saying, $8 billion in just the UK really kind of says a lot about how much their digital game sales are selling just in the UK.
PlayStation fanboys for sure.
Yeah, for sure. I think it's Kneon, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. When you sell something on an app store and Apple, Google, PlayStation, Nintendo, they take their commission, their 30% commission.
Yeah.
Even here on YouTube, right? Yeah. When a super chat is sold, YouTube takes 30% of that.
I don't think people realize that. Yeah.
No, I don't think that's why I prefer, if someone's going to support, they support through a direct donation link. We receive 95% of that after processing fees and stuff, as opposed to super chats and such. But what are your overall thoughts on the 30% gate that is currently swept across the industry? Are we all getting screwed here?
Oh yeah, of course we are. We're all getting screwed. But the flip side is, are you going to build your own platform? You know what I'm saying? Like, with the iTunes store or with they've already sold the consoles. They've already sold the phones. You've got a captive YouTube. They've already built the platform. Granted, it's on the backs of other people over, a decade plus, but the eyeballs are there. The audience is there. And you're basically paying them for the privilege of setting up shop in a very busy mall, with a lot of foot traffic. I'm not saying it's right. I think it's awfully high, but I'm also like, from their point of view, they're like, well, if you think you can go build your own phone or build your own console and you can price it however you want to, good luck with that. We're the multi-billion-dollar companies that have already done it. And that's kind of the way I look at YouTube too. Like it's steep, but I'm like, everybody goes to YouTube. They go to YouTube, right. You can try selling ads on your own. That's hard. They already sell the ads, and I guess half of that is better than 100% of nothing, and it's just kind of, unless somebody comes up with a better system, that's just kind of the way it is. And, I think it's pretty steep, but, they have to pay their fees. They've got their infrastructure, and, again, everybody's free to go do their own thing. It's just, good luck with that.
Good luck with that. Let's continue with this story real quick. This is Reuters is reporting the class action lawsuit filed against Sony Interactive Entertainment has been allowed to move forward by a London tribunal. It is alleged that Sony is quote abusing its dominant position by requiring software to be bought and sold only in its online marketplace. Because of Sony's 30% commission on all PlayStation Store sales, it is argued that customers are forced to pay higher prices for entertainment than they should otherwise. So that's kind of where it's at. And I think, that's the idea was you're kind of boxed in the corner where this is kind of weird because I do understand what they're talking about, but there are games that are multi-platform, right? And you could buy, a game on the PlayStation 5, or you could buy a game on the Xbox One, or maybe even the Switch, who knows? But Flash, what are your thoughts on this overall idea? Do you think that there's some legs to this, and that no?
How are they going to prove any of this? Like the 30%. So is this for consumers or people that are putting their products on the platform?
So if I was to make a game and I was to put it on the PlayStation 5 store, which we have done. We've sold games on the PlayStation 4 before in the past, and it's a 30% commission off everything. So more or less,
Sony's not the only one that does that.
Correct.
Steam does that too. I'm pretty sure Microsoft probably does it, and Nintendo. I don't think this is going to go anywhere. It's their platform. They can charge whatever they want. If you don't like it, don't use Sony.
And that's, you're 100% right.
I hate to take the company position on this, but it's the truth.
Right. And Cloudfish, congratulations. Way to go. I saw that. I was just glancing at the chat. Love to see that. But yeah, you're right. And I think that one of the things that you see with a situation like this is everyone says, build an alternative, build an alternative, build an alternative. Well, there are alternatives that are being built. I think from a Twitch perspective and the 50% that they take from all, they take 50% of all sub revenue. People don't necessarily realize that. So when somebody subs to a channel on Twitch for $5, you as a streamer get $2.49 of it or whatever, right? They also Twitch takes a percentage off the sale of bits, not on the transaction of bits. So if you want to buy 100 bits, they charge you $1.40, and then they give the streamer all 100 bits, which equates to $1. Now, the alternative to that now is Kick, because they're saying, hey, we're going to give you 95% of all sub revenue. And that is mind-blowing to people who've been living on Kick for the better part of a decade or so. And YouTube has an alternative, obviously, that being Rumble, or at least it's growing. But Rumble still charges 30%. They take 30% of all Rumble rants. And right now they're giving you 100% of all subscribers revenue through the end of the year. And they have yet to announce what they're going to take from subscriber revenue in moving forward in 2024. But I would suspect it's probably going to be 30%, most likely. It seems to be the industry standard, which is crazy. So
is that from Locals?
Locals is a different product than Rumble. But yeah, I think they take like,
they're the same. I thought they were owned by the same people.
They are, but it's a different product. Yeah, it's the same company, same ownership, but different product. And they're still trying to find a way to incorporate it into Rumble. That's the thing that people don't understand about Rumble is that that's a very small team. They have a very small team of working. It's not like YouTube where they have 7,000 engineers working on things. So, all right. Well, I think we all see the writing on the wall. If anybody, if you live in the UK and you bought anything from London, obviously, be rooting to get some money back. But I'm sure the process will be long and drawn out and arduous and a pain in the ass. And maybe you'll see like 47 cents from it.
Yeah, and the thing is about this, now I don't see it in this article, but I remember listening to it from the guys this morning. They were saying that this lawsuit, if you were living in the UK for like almost the last decade or so and you bought something from PlayStation, then you might be compensated. So that's a lot of people, which is where I guess that huge
get that 10 cent, that sweet 10-cent refund. Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
So,
they did something like that with Epic with the wasn't it the Fortnite lawsuit, and everybody got like $6 or something. It's like $6,
Right. It's pretty brutal. Like when you see those class action lawsuits,
it's a candy bar now. Come on.
Right.
I think I got like
new
$6
skin
from Google when they had that lawsuit. I think it was Google Hangouts when they accidentally sold your information.
Accidentally.
Yeah, accidentally. I think I got $6
Kneon
out of
knows.
that. I was like, woohoo!
Woohoo! There's your woohoo for the day. All right. Let's move on. All right. So there's a new Fallout series coming, TV series. I didn't know this was coming at all, but it's going to be in April 12th on Prime Video. There's a adaptation of Fallout, the video game, coming, starring Ella Prunell, Kyle MacLachlan, and Walton Goggins. Do we know who these people are?
I know of the Ella chick. She's a pretty decent actress. I'm not gonna say no, but
Kneon?
Yeah, I know nothing.
Well, Kyle MacLachlan, wasn't he in Dune?
Great question. I don't know, but we got our first screenshot.
Their faces.
So let's check these out. Flash, you were not impressed by these when you saw these, huh?
No, I think it looks cheap. Like this show needs to have good production because you're trying to capture that Fallout world, which is that's such a well-built world now with all of the stuff that they've put out for this.
What about this mix?
That looks cheap to me.
Looks like Halo.
These
Yeah.
guys,
You know,
these guys are
it's
cheap.
like, yeah.
Now there was one
What do you-
picture that I liked, and it was her looking out, and there was a broken airplane and stuff that looked pretty cool.
see
But there's
those.
one with airships, and that looks pretty generic, like sci-fi to me. Like that's not Fallout. I'd like to see something more of like a Western, like just going around town to town, something like that. Kind of like you do in the games.
I actually legit thought this was an eyeball falling out right here and like over his right eye. I thought that was like an eyeball falling out.
But
no, it's
cosplay. Very
yeah.
good cosplay, but cosplay.
Right.
It looks like a toy.
Man, were you guys big fans of the Fallout series?
I love Fallout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First
What a-
couple.
Yeah, the third one and New Vegas. New Vegas especially. I love that game. Love New
this-
Vegas.
Get you excited at all?
No.
To watch? No, not at all, huh?
No.
So
Fuck
what is
that?
happening? Do you have any idea what's happening here?
Looks like Brotherhood of Steel stuff.
Yeah,
It
I'm
counts
not
like a Transformer still. I'm not gonna lie.
a Transformers movie or Transformers.
Like an image from Transformers movie, yeah.
Now, speaking of other movies, this is it. Alex,
It should
I don't know
look
how-
dirty.
Right.
Everything should look dirty and kind of
Gritty.
run down. Yeah, and it doesn't look anything like that to me. It just looks clean.
Yeah.
That's why I said it just doesn't look right.
Well, this is
The real
same
question-
series as like who did a Halo, right? Or no?
Well, the real question is the lead actress gay in the show?
Right.
That's what I want to know.
Oh, in real
No, the
life,
character.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
That's the real question. Is that the question everybody wants to know? Is the lead?
Is she lame and gay?
She's non-binary.
I want to know why Red Skull from Captain America is in it. Is this something that I'm missing? Is this who is this?
Those are I forget what you call them, but there's people that are mutated from the radiation, so they're just kind of falling apart. They almost look like zombies. That's what that is. I don't remember what they're called. The ghouls, yeah,
Okay.
they're ghouls. But he
Well, there
does
you
look
go.
like Red Skull.
I mean, right on. That's my
He
first
looks
thought.
like
Like,
Ryan Reynolds, Deadpool.
it's like, what a crossover. What a huge crossover event we have here, which is great. All right. Well, you can look for that on April 12th.
Oh,
No, not April 1st.
Oh, it's gonna be awful.
Oh man. What if it's the best series ever? Flash. Like
That'd
what
be
if it's
great.
What if you walk in and it's the best thing ever? That'd be great, right?
I love it when stuff's actually good. Like I've had a lot of fun watching Invincible. That came back for a minute. Got 4 weeks of that. That was great.
Do you feel like, isn't that just kind of a state of where we're at with media, where you kind of go in expecting it to be horrible, but if it's good, you're like, oh, it's actually a pleasant surprise, which I think ultimately causes us to prop things up that may be mediocre a little bit higher than they should be, because we're
might be
so
right.
used to trash, right?
Yeah.
this is actually edible. Yeah, it's not the worst thing ever. It's the school lunch is edible. It's not great, but it didn't give me food poisoning. Yeah.
Right. Let's go to get a few super chats, see what you guys have to think about. By the way, I appreciate you guys popping in. Hit the thumbs up button if you guys are just tuning in. Let's hit that 300 goal. If you're new, make sure you hit the subscribe button. We'd love for you guys to come join us Monday through Friday here on the channel, 11 a.m. Central Time, as we bring back common sense to this insanity known as the gaming and entertainment world. Scarfy came in with the 5, says, is Hollywood setting up the disabled as the next grievance group to white knight over? The wheelchair Santa reminds me of the mobility scooter thief. Did you guys see the black wheelchair Santa from Target? Did you guys see? No, you didn't see that, Kneon?
No.
It's
I
all the
haven't seen
rage.
it.
Oh, you
I've
haven't
only-
seen it?
I've only seen the Doctor Who wheelchair warrior.
Yeah, does he have rocket launchers on his wheelchair? I mean, that's
There you
pretty
go.
badass. I gotta admit,
There's black wheelchair Santa available at Target for you if you want to go and pick it up. Just if you ever feel the need. So there's all sorts of really great woke Christmas items at Target if you like to pick them up. that don't fit that check all of the boxes, all of them.
At Target, you say?
Yes.
Wow. I'm
Absolutely.
shocked.
Target. Stop mispronouncing the name.
Yes, I'm sorry.
Target.
Need to get my pinky up when I pronounce it as well. My Target. It's right.
Target.
Do they put that
SPZ.
thing?
Yes, go ahead,
Do-
Flash.
Do they put it right at the front of the store?
No, it's back.
Roxanne?
It's in the front of the Christmas items.
Okay.
And this is it's a reoccurring theme we have on Mondays. We have a reoccurring segment on the show called "I'm Dreaming of a Woke Christmas," where we just look at all the woke Christmas items this year, and we've discovered all sorts of them, which is great. So,
Are you allowed to say Christmas though? Isn't that sort of
That's the holiday section.
that's right.
holiday
no.
section? Okay.
Yes. SPZ came in and says PS5 peasant here. This year's Friday of Color. This year's Friday of Color. I bought more physical copies. Oh, Black Friday. I see. Because I bought more physical copies than usual because they're literally cheaper than the digital on PlayStation Store. That's right. That's true.
That is true.
Go on
I
sale.
actually bought some physical copies too. Some stuff. There was a lot of cheap games this year for Black Friday.
Pick them up when you can. Clifton came in with 2 months. Says I need Sloot mods and jiggle physics. All right. Well, maybe you'll find that in the new Fallout series. Probably not. Emperor Nero did nothing wrong. Says please look up Project 2025. It's planned to outlaw smut. Oh, okay.
I just discovered what smut meant the other day. That's funny.
She lives a sheltered life, gentlemen.
I just don't know these terms. Just call them delinquents or dirty things and stuff.
Smut. Scarpy says Fallout needs to be done in the style of either the 50s TV show or an 80s Mad Max ripoff. And I think when I think Fallout, those are the two styles that I think combined.
I really like that idea of the 80s Mad Max ripoff. That's perfect, actually. Yeah, go with that.
And Hayden came in with the $20 super chat. Thank you very much, Hayden. Greatly appreciate you, my man. Says I would argue that the world of Fallout is the main character. The stories told within the world are different and some are good, but I don't think they can pull off the atmosphere. I agree with Flash. This looks cheap. Thank you, Hayden. Appreciate you, my man. Greatly appreciate your support. Always a pleasure. And GK says, looks like look at in-game ghouls and see how they cheaped out. Well, Blabs, you can pull up an image of an in-game ghoul. Be great. Alan came in with the vibe, says Fallout, more like balls out for Harambe. Well, thank you, Alan. Appreciate that. For Harambe, that's good. Kratos came in and says 30% is what Steam charges, but they also provide a ton of free and easy to integrate community features and promotional events.
It's true.
So I think it's worth it.
For now.
None of that on PlayStation.
None of that.
So
None of it.
that's what they look like?
Oh,
Yeah, that's them.
okay. Looks like
They're mutated people that have been, like run down from the radiation because it's a world of. I mean, the game's called Fallout.
right. Makes sense. Dude says all console makers and Steam take 30%. Epic tried to force its way into taking a smaller cut, but still can't win any goodwill. Sometimes it's the brand recognition that keeps people loyal. Thank you, dude. Appreciate that. And you see that, man, all the time. People are more than willing to pay 30% because they love their PlayStation, they love their Nintendo, they love their whatever. Abdulio came in and says, Kneon from Clownfish and Yellow Flash. Great to see you guys on here. Glad to see everyone crossing over like this. Hopefully you guys will eventually be on the Midnight's Edge and vice versa. It'd be great to see Andre and Tom on here. I hope to see you. I hope you had fun on Friday Night Tights. I did, Abdulio. Thank you very much. Always a pleasure to have you on. Followed up with Fallout TV show is going to be awful. Bethesda has already ruined the franchise by dumbing it down for normies. And this is going to be based on their version of it and not the original. Not to mention the creative are the same who did the woke Westworld. Did you guys watch Westworld?
Oh, I didn't know that. That's good. Yeah, the first season was great.
Right. I thought,
and then it just fucking fell off a cliff.
It's amazing how that happens with there's so many. You think of so many good shows that have just fallen off. Like something drastic happens between the first season and the second season, or second or third season. I think of Mandalorian. I think of Westworld. There's quite a few shows out there that have done that. Kneon, did you watch Westworld at all?
A little bit of the first season. I just didn't get into it that much. I don't have a lot of time to watch TV. We actually run a bunch of businesses, and like I squeeze TV in when I can, but yeah, I don't have like I can't really follow something every week. It'll be like I'll binge it after the fact or something, and unless somebody tells me it's like really, 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 really good, then I'll check it out. But like even Picard season 3, it took me 6 weeks, I think, to get around watching it. And I was just like, yeah, okay, this is pretty good. It's like way late, but it's like really, really good.
I watch shows and movies in 15-minute increments, pretty much. I'll start a show, end it, and then like I'll watch a little while I'm getting some lunch or something, and something along those lines. So
yep.
Abdulio came in with another 2, says original creators of Fallout only made 1 and 2. Bethesda won the bid for the IP when Interplay went into bankruptcy. The creators got one more chance at the series with New Vegas. Everything else is Bethesda poorly written fan fiction. New Vegas was the epilogue. Thank you, Abdulio. Appreciate that.
One of my favorite games.
New Vegas, Fallout New Vegas.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Easy came in with the 5. Says, I love the Fallout series. Didn't mind too much the images. Fallout inspired, but wearing the skin isn't the same as the Fallout experience. Thank you, Easy. Appreciate that. And Orthodox Monks came in with the quote of the day. Blabs, read it off.
Movie quote of the day. Hey, Griswold, where do you think you're going to put a tree that big? Todd, bend over and I'll show you. Clark Christmas is right around the corner. Let's go.
Let's go. Good stuff. I love that. Do you know who Clark Griswold is, Blabs?
Should I?
Damn it. Get in the corner. Let's go. Get out of here.
See, now you can actually be like get in the corner and it actually works.
just go sit in the corner. All right. Kneon, you were saying you don't have a whole lot of time to watch movies, but a new trailer just dropped, which has 20 million views on X alone. And you said you have not watched this yet.
I have not watched this, no.
Okay. This is coming from Daily Wire, which is the conservative outlet. And this is a tweet from Jeremy Boring, who I believe is their CEO. And he says, and a quote, says, Hollywood won't make a movie about how laughably absurd it is that we now have grown men to call themselves women, then dominate women's sports. So we did, introducing our first feature-length comedy, Lady Ballers. So it's coming out on the 1st, which this is a wonderful statement on society. We don't need to watch the full trailer because you guys will get the gist of it. But as you go, we'll just watch the beginning of it here.
In a world where women's sports is being transformed, the Daily Wire calls foul with the most triggering comedy of the year.
So you get the idea of what's happening.
Well, I'm offended because I played women's basketball in high school.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Oh, that's good. I'm sorry to hear that. Well, what happened?
Did you get your ass whooped?
Yeah, I got my ass whooped. That's what happened.
So the premise is really simple as we kind of skip through, and Twitter's videos doing it raw. I'll have to refresh. But the long and short of it is these guys who sucked at sports, they went in and they had a basketball team, and they realized that they can now identify as women. They go in and they decide they want to become a basketball team and be the best women's basketball team in history. Now, you can see that they come to this realization, and they have all these effeminate guys who become women, and they're all in their pink, and they're beating the hell out of everybody. But they come to this realization that not only can they win in basketball, but they can win in all sports, including wrestling and soccer and everything else. And as they make their way through, and I think one of the issues is that you can see this is later in the where they're playing against the Cowgirls, and they're all a bunch of dudes too. So they eventually run into a little bit of a drama. So this movie is called Lady Ballers. Oh yeah, and they also decide that this is actually kind of a funny line here at the end.
Lady Ballers.
One can even be trans age now, which provides Sheelix with a wonderful opportunity to relive all the experiences that she missed out on in school.
So the idea of taking a step back. So a lot of people, they opened up this trailer saying this is going to be extremely triggering. This is a triggering thing. And in 2023, it is triggering. The problem is, if you go back 20 years, there was a little film called Joanna Man. Do you guys remember this film, Joanna Man?
Yep.
Right. And I went in and I actually watched the trailer to Joanna Man earlier today. And if you look at just there's a little sequence here that more or less, if you were to put this footage in to the Lady Ballers footage, it would fit perfectly. Just like in the trailer for Lady Ballers, you know, Joanna Man's dunking all over things. They puts these in these there's going to be these awkward situations where she's shaving her mustache, and she needs to get waxed, and oh my, she needs to take a shower with the girls. So the internet, obviously, it's funny because there are people who are responding to my tweet. I more or less said the exact same thing here, is that, you know, 20 years ago this would have been called, you know, funny, and now it's called now it's like triggering, more or less.
Bigoted.
Yeah.
She's the man, right? Amanda Bynes. She was in
right.
I love that movie.
My daughter watches that all the time now. She's discovered Amanda Bynes, and I haven't told her the ending to the Amanda Bynes story. But I'm like, go on, honey. You watch those movies.
Well, okay, so like, Daily Wire is a conservative outlet, but they've said that they don't want their movies to have an overt political tone. They just want their movies to be fun and free of politics, right? But this is obviously, you know, like, it's crazy to say that in 2023 and going into 2024, the idea that this is a political issue is crazy. I am just fascinated by the amount of people who are so upset that we'd make this movie's being made today, and it's just flabbergasting to me. I don't know. Kneon, do you have any thoughts on Lady Ballers, the latest hit from Daily Wire?
No. It's like, I mean, if I had seen this trailer and I didn't know it came from the Daily Wire, I'd just be like, you know, whatever. I've seen this before. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, we used to see movies like this all the time. It's just that, in this day and age, you're not allowed to go there. But
I think that's why they do, though, right?
Yeah, that's why they're going there. Just because you told us no, so we're going to do it. You know, they're going to use the outrage as part of the marketing. You know, and that's, you know, whatever you can do to get views, right? But I would have looked at it and been like, whatever. You know,
right.
Seen this before.
Yeah, we used to get movies like that all the time. Like there was even White Chicks, that Rodney Dangerfield movie where he's like a soccer coach.
Ladybugs, yeah.
Oh, Ladybugs.
Yeah, Ladybugs.
Yeah, that was
Hot
good.
Chick with Rob Schneider.
Yep, that one. There was also that movie with Johnny Knoxville where he plays a slow person. I don't know if I can say the R word on YouTube. So, but he's like, he puts himself in the Special Olympics. Like, it's kind of the same premise.
Right. And just for point of reference, you know, Joanna Man was a flop back in the day, but it still made almost $14 million. And so I would like to think over on a pretty minimal budget back in the day. And Warner Brothers was the company that was the distributor of the whole thing. So just saying, it's amazing how things have changed so quickly in the last 20 years.
Well, David Zaslav's in charge. Maybe they'll make a sequel
to Joanna Man.
Yeah.
You know, he wants a Barbie sequel. So,
well, what's going to be interesting with this movie in particular is what will the ending look like, right? In the ending of like Ladybugs, I watched that movie all the time as a kid. I love that movie. Jonathan Brandis was the boy who played in the girls' soccer team. But at the end, there was this girl power moment where Jonathan Brandis takes off the wig and he's like, "You don't need me. You can do this by yourself." And they're like, "Yeah, we're going to do it." And they go out and they win, and it's girl power. They can't really do that in this movie, right? Because they're shoving how the ridiculousness of this in the face of society and be like, you realize how stupid this is? So I think the only like proper way to do this is just to have them blow through the entire competition and almost. Have you guys heard about the alternate ending of Dodgeball, where it's supposed where Ben Stiller gets hit in the or Ben Stiller hits Average Joe's guy in the face, and then the movie just goes to credits and it like ends right there. It's like a hard cut. Have you heard about that before?
No.
Mm-mm.
Okay, so that was supposedly the original cut of the ending of the movie, to where it just ended and it ends on a downer, and it's supposed to be this massive joke, but they test screened it and people hated that. So that's when they added all the the money, and it's kind of like a convoluted ending, and the good guys win and all this. But then originally the ending had the bad guys winning, and that was kind of the joke of the whole thing, was that you can't beat Globotech or whatever, or Globo Gym.
Yeah.
And
Nobody likes those kind of endings, though.
Right. But it's funny to think about, right? So I think they made it a DVD bonus extra, or bonus finishing, or a bonus ending or something. But you can't really do that with this. So they kind of have how they finish this film is going to be honestly very interesting to me, because you can't have that, like, I mean, maybe they do have a girl power moment, but they can't do it in the same way of Jonathan Brandis taking off a wig and telling the 12-year-olds to go score some goals.
Maybe Gina Carano comes in at the end and gives a little speech, like, yes, women can be strong and still feminine. And
Like a fourth wall breaking moment.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know how, because that's the thing. When your movie is basically created just to like whether it's the right or the left, just to like own the other side, what is the point? I mean, what is the point of it? Do you have a punchline? Is it good? Is it going to get you to think about things, or is it just like, we stuck? And we see this on the left side all the time with media. It's like the whole purpose of this movie was to make the bigots mad. And then, no, that's literally it. The whole purpose was just to make the bigots angry. And that's, there really is no more to it than that. And I guess my thing is, like, if you're going to have somebody like the Daily Wire doing movies, don't fall in the same trap. Like, if you're going to do this and this is your premise, you got to have a punchline. You got to have something at the end, like you said, that's going to make this movie worth making, other than to just be like, oh, we just want to do this to trigger people and get views, because that's not really a good enough reason for it to exist, in my opinion.
Sure. Well, they in the trailer they have all the things that you'd expect from like a male going against a female in sports. You have them, obviously, like I mentioned, the idea of them like dunking all over themselves, dunking all over the teams. By the way, very clearly can tell these are lowered rims. I'm just going to let you know, a little secret, very low rims.
That's all I shot in high school. Oh my God.
I know. Just these guys, by the way, if a guy was to dunk like this next dunk in particular, this one, he'd have to be like 8 foot tall, because he gets not off the ground at all. It's ridiculous. But yeah, they have them pushing and shoving and all sorts of stuff. And I'll say this, as a father of 2 girls, and Blabs, I would love to hear your thoughts on this. Number one, Blabs, do you find this funny at all?
I actually do find it funny. I was trying to find a scene in this trailer that makes me laugh my ass off. There's a comedian in there named Tyler Fish, I think his name is. And he's actually mimicking Dylan, going, day number, blah, blah,
oh, yeah,
girl. I thought that was hysterical. I'm like, yes, there it is. I'm like, yes, finally someone's saying it, because I think this Dylan guy is a huge piece of shit for mocking women as he does, and then he's being celebrated for it. So this is actually, calling people out. And I honestly, I don't really care about Daily Wire. They do whatever they want, but I actually do want to see this movie. I want to see how it ends, just like Craig said. I'm like, okay, you make this movie, how's it going to end? Is it going to show off that, women can't actually compete against men, or what are they going to do? But they're actually like calling shit out as it goes along, saying, this is what's really happening in society right now. Women are literally being removed from sports. And no, it's not fair, and we shouldn't have to take it, because they're trying to censor us too, saying, no, go and get re-educated, it's fine, you can go get naked in front of that trans boy, it's okay. It's like, no, it's not okay. So yeah, I'm totally down for this.
All right, thank you, Blabs, appreciate that.
I'll go back in my corner.
Get to the corner, Blabs. There you go. Let's go to get a few super chats, hear what you guys have to think about it. Before we get in, we're going to move on to another story here in a second. Tell you what, Kneon, you got to roll in about 15 minutes. Would you rather talk about the Shrek test animation that was found, or the free Attack on Titan fan game that was just recently produced. You get to pick.
Shit. Shrek. Let's do
Okay.
Shrek. Shrek is always fun.
Okay, we'll get to that in just a second. But first, Review Dick USA came in with the 2 pounds. It's a bit to say I don't know what is that? The Pride win isn't Fallout. I'm Review Dick. I don't know what that is. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'm not good at reading either. Scarfy came in and says, bet the Fallout show will be based on Frontier mod. Thomas Smith came in and says, I don't buy digital games unless it's 50% plus off. Thank you so much, Thomas. Appreciate that. That's probably a good strategy. Mark came in 4 months. Thanks so much, Mark. Pleasure to see you, buddy. Says, everyone should watch The Killer and buy the Valphorus game while they're still on sale. They are awesome heavy metal indies. I've heard The Killer is good. I've heard that from several people. Do you guys know that series? Is it a series or a game? Oh, I think it's a series.
I haven't heard of either of them, but if Mark's recommending them, I'll check them out.
Mark's hardcore, man. He knows his shit.
Yeah.
Torgo says, does anyone remember?
Yes.
Does nobody remember the movie Soul Man? Oh man, Kneon, you look uncomfortable talking about Soul Man.
No, I've seen it so many times on HBO back in the day. So I have to wonder: are those movies still available? Are those
Great
companies
question.
are they still selling those movies now that are problematic? You know, because if they are, they're still profiting off of it. So on one side of their mouth, they're saying, "Hey, we got to be progressive. We got to make sure we're not offending anyone." But yeah, we're gonna make some money off of Soul Man. $5 bin at Walmart or whatever.
Yeah, right.
Can you buy it on Vudu? Look it up. See if you can buy it on Vudu.
Blab, see what we got here. We're looking for Soul Man.
Okay.
Yeah, thank you. Alan came in and says, Lady Baller sequel featuring Michelle Obama. Thank you, Alan. Joker Outlaw says, hey, Yellow Flash, any update on your comic book?
I've tried. Well, I have 30. I think we have 36 pages done. At least 10 colored. 2 covers are done. I just need to get a couple of things tied up legally, and then we should be able to launch. It was supposed to come out in this fall, but I've never done this before, so I've had some other things that I needed to take care of with the book legally before I can put it out.
By the way,
that's the holdup.
You got to take care. You got to cross those T's and dot those I's.
Yeah.
Good. Torgo says, The Killer is a movie on Netflix and Valphorus is a side scroller. Okay. Thanks, Torgo. Appreciate that. All right. And Hayden came in and says, prediction for the end of the movie. Everyone realizes how absurd it is that rules allow men to play women's sports and the culture changes to separate men's and women's sports again. Thank you, Hayden. Appreciate that. Well, I mean, that seems logical, but there's not a whole lot of logic in the world right now. Heretic came in with a $3 direct donation. Says, evening, I've watched your Doctor Who segment. Didn't catch it live. I'm a Doctor Who super fan. If you do a roundtable on it or further discussion, I'd love to talk in depth with you, Blabs, as I'm really bummed out and have a lot to say. Thanks for being normal. Thanks, Heretic. Appreciate
I'm
that.
normal, he says. You hear that, Craig?
Shut up. There we go. Elite Neo came in with the 5s. Says, speaking of downer endings to a movie, the original intended ending of Clerks. Oof. Yeah, I've heard about that. I love downer endings. It's great. Love it. All right, let's move on to an upper, I think. This is actually kind of cool. So Shrek obviously is a major, I'd say it was a major franchise in the 2000s. And apparently they're making a new Shrek coming out.
Yeah, I did hear about that.
Yeah, which is
Shrek
interesting.
5.
So
is it a reboot or a sequel? Because I've heard both.
From what I've understood, it's just a sequel of a sequel of a sequel of a sequel of a sequel.
Okay, because they kind of set that up in the second Puss in Boots, which is actually very, very good.
I've heard.
It was a very good movie, and the animation was fantastic, and I was shocked at how good it was.
Right, and the Puss in Boots movie, I've heard a lot of the exact same things. Man, it's a really great movie. My kids went and saw it, and they loved it. But before Shrek became what he is today, they had to do all sorts of tests and stuff, and there's been footage that has been leaked of the original test animation of Shrek. Now, for context, I think it's important for us to actually see what Shrek finished looking like. So this is what he looks like now. This is what he looks like today. He's kind of like
Onions have layers.
layers. That's right. And he's got his lovable donkey character here. He's so nice and happy. You know, it wasn't always that way, but he was, you know, Shrekish, right? So let's take a look at what is being, what we found on the internet. Once again, this is the Shrek test animation. And so from the YouTube channel Zoom Art Studio. By the way, I'm going to play this with no audio because there's copyrighted audio in it, and I don't want to get flagged by YouTube. But just know that he's dancing along here. So here we are. This is the original footage, and I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. By the way, it has that like 90s look to it, late 90s look, maybe early 2000s.
PlayStation cutscene. Oh my God.
Oh. Is that Chris Farley talking?
No, it's not. It's just a generic guy, and you'll hear him here in a second. I'll actually bring him up just for this because he came in dancing to "I Feel Good." I feel good. No, the James Brown song, I think. Here we go. Let's listen to this real quick.
I feel good. Come here, little fat boy.
There you go. So
Terrifying.
God.
definitely a different look when it comes to the look of Shrek right there compared to what he finished as right there. Let me bring that back down. And then he just continues. But you can see what they're going for here, which is kind of the overall movement of them. You know, obviously CGI is not what it is, was not what it is today. But just general thoughts on Shrek's overall look and how much it's changed, specifically from this, you know, to this. It's a pretty drastic. Kneon, what are your thoughts on that? You are literally covering your mouth.
Obviously, they ran this through the gauntlet, and some people said, "Yeah, that's going to terrify. That's going to terrify kids. That's going to turn audiences away. Don't do that." Yeah, it looks to me like they're trying to go for like that Terry Pratchett Discworld video game kind of Monty Python looking cartoon character, and it just doesn't. I don't think anybody could sit through 2 hours of that. You know, and I think that's probably what they looked at. They're probably like, yeah, we got to make these characters a little more relatable. I know a lot of people say that Shrek 1 especially had kind of Uncanny Valley thing going for it, but you know, for the time it was pretty good. I mean, you're talking what, it was 2001, I think, when that came out.
Yeah,
and it was way ahead of everything else, except for Final Fantasy. But you know, nobody watched that.
I watched it.
Plus, what'd you think?
Two
Not
people
good.
watched it.
It's not good.
Do you feel like they changed that Flash to scare less children? Was that the idea? No, did we lose Flash?
She's muted.
Oh, am I muted? No, okay.
What? You're talking to Flash? Not
Yeah,
me.
no, I was talking to Flash. Yeah, Flash, did we lose you?
Oh, I thought you said Blabs.
No,
Sorry.
I'm sorry. Flash, what were your thoughts on that?
It looked awful. Reminds me of Sonic the Hedgehog. Remember that?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the first thought that came to my mind because that first design was awful. It was so bad. And it's kind of the same way. Imagine if that had came out instead of the regular one. I wonder how people would have taken that movie.
They wouldn't have. It would have bombed. I mean, you could take one look at that and been like, that would have failed.
Yeah, that's so bad.
That's terrifying.
Yeah.
I forgot about that.
Oh my gosh, they did such a good job of reworking it. That was a really good example of totally reworking it and taking their time to do it right. And it obviously has paid off as they're going into sequels here. But it's amazing to see how you can take a character that looked so bad and was so legit unlikable. I mean, the only thing you heard him say was "bite me," and then this thing flies off in the sky. He's literally doing harm. I mean, this guy, the old Shrek, looks like, man, I don't even know what to say about this guy. I mean, they kept
looks
they
like
kept his ears, yeah,
an old man.
right, yeah, doesn't look pleasant at all. And
That's
the idea of
in
making
40 years.
you got a big old
Yeah.
jaw.
They probably took a look at him and they're like, yeah, this is a character that goes through an arc, you know, and you have to kind of like him. And there's nothing likable about this version of the character, you know. And
I think it's fun to see something, you know, before it moved really far along into the process, like what they were kind of looking at doing. And I don't think, I think that was more of like a concept thing. Like, I don't think they were ever wed to that.
No, absolutely. It was just a test animation for
Yeah.
sure. But and you could see by the way it was moving, it had it was doing the whole dance moves and stuff. That was very advanced for that time period. I mean, once again, we're talking about if the original movie came out in 2001, they're animating this for 2 or 3 years. So that's probably 1997, 98, maybe, when they're putting these tests together. So, you put this back in perspective to what you saw on the PlayStation at the time, it was, it was pretty impressive. Now it looks archaic compared to what you see today, but I also would say that the original Toy Story looks archaic compared to what you see as well.
It really does.
Yeah, it's very, very different. And a lot of times, you just have to sell a studio on a concept. Just be like, look, we can do animation. We'll work out the bugs, but here's what we put together over the weekend. Give us millions of dollars.
Right.
By the way, yes. Found some interesting info about Shrek. So it was supposed to be what you guys see. That's like Chris Farley's version, right? Before he died. And then they cast Mike Myers. And apparently, according to his website of canceledmoviesfandom.com, Mike Myers didn't want to work on someone else's script. So he asked the script to be completely rewritten. And that's why we have the final version of Shrek. So it's a complete rebranding from everything.
Yeah.
Sense. And that version of Shrek, the version we have today, kind of resembles Mike Myers in kind of a way. I wouldn't say that version of this version of Shrek resembles Chris Farley in any way, shape, or form. But I think it's definitely understand why that would be for sure. Have you guys ever seen the Chris Farley voiceover work done for Shrek?
Yeah, I've seen a clip.
Ago. Yeah,
I've seen a clip of it. But I think they just took his voice and kind of just put it over a picture. I don't think there was anything moving.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was just some stills, but it's interesting to see the character evolve for sure. Yes,
I wish they would release it. I wish we could get stuff like that as a special feature on a home release. Like Back to the Future, I'd love to see all of the footage they shot with Eric Stoltz. You know what I'm saying?
Well, all right. Well, the multiverse, in the DC multiverse.
Yeah. All right. Well, Kneon, I know you got to roll, so we're gonna let you bounce, but we want to make sure everybody heads over to Clownfish and go subscribe to Clownfish right now and get those numbers up. Let's get them to 6 million subscribers.
Sure. Yeah, 6, 7.
We'll get there for sure.
Start. But yeah, thank you.
Kneon, it's a pleasure to have you on, buddy. Look forward to having you on again in the future.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for having me on. Nice meeting everybody. And
it's good seeing you again, Kneon.
Yeah. Hey, we'll see you.
I'll catch you later, buddy.
Bye.
All right. There's Kneon from Clownfish TV. What a stud. Always. Well, it's the first time having him on. It was very, very exciting. I've been talking to him forever, and we've had a lot of conversations, so I'm glad to finally have him on, which is great. All right.
I actually found footage, by the way, of Chris Farley as Shrek, like voiceover.
Oh, actual footage of it?
Yeah. So check this out.
Just play just for a second, because I don't want to get hit by copyright.
Mission to warm the cockles of your heart.
Yeah, this is just stills.
I like my cockles room.
Yeah, but it's his voice.
Very much.
Yeah.
So that's cool.
But by the way, look at how different he looks.
Like,
yeah,
right.
You go back
Donkey.
Well, that's donkey, Blabs.
Even Shrek looks different.
That's what I'm saying. Donkey looks different.
Fatter.
Everything. Look at that.
His face is different too.
Yeah. That's good. That's good stuff.
Ta-da.
Hey, Elite Neo came in with the 2. Says that's not Shrek. That's Shriek. Nice, Elite Neo.
I just have one thing to say about Shrek. Shrek is love. Shrek is life.
All right. Thanks, Blabs. Appreciate that. Always good to hear your perspective on things.
Fine, Craig.
Yes. Fine. I don't know what you're talking about. Hey, Kratos El Gratos came in with the $69 direct donation. Says, I only 69 for Craig's direct donation link. Apparently, all my previous 69s were only 48s, and that's no fun for anyone. Please banish Blabs to the corner for not knowing about Griswold Christmas.
What?
I can't. The banishment. I need to make a new layer for that. We need to have a third in to banish Blabs to the corner. But I will definitely banish her tomorrow for you, Kratos. Thank you so much. Appreciate the full $69 direct donation. Getting scrolled on the bottom side. There you go. Kratos going on the wall.
69.
Let's go. Kratos El Gratos going on the wall. All right, coming up in just a second. Well, before we get to that, How about y'all just look at it? Look at it right there. Kratos El Kratos going on the wall, right next to Stardust. Ah! Right.
Are you okay?
I'm good.
Do you need life alert?
Listen, Blabs, I'm gonna punch you in the coccyx one day. All right.
In the tailbone?
Yes, I'm gonna punch you in the
That
coccyx.
really hurts. You can't do that. That hurts. That hurts like a bitch.
Oh my God, it's ridiculous. All right. Well, thank you so much, Kratos. Greatly appreciate that. I love that we can joke about punching each other and nobody gets upset on the show. Isn't it great? It's awesome.
We need a side scroller SmackDown. Me versus Pokey. Yo, Flash, who do you think is gonna win in a fight? Me or Pokemon?
You.
Thank you.
Goddamn right. That's awesome. All right. Flash, you are you said you watched Attack on Titan, the original one?
Yeah, I'm not caught up, but I've watched a little bit of it.
Okay. Well, there is a free Attack on Titan fan game that has been released, which I don't know. I think looks pretty fun. I don't know the first thing about Attack on Titan, but there's a 14-second trailer here, which I wanted to put out here and show it to you. Let's see what your thoughts on this, Flash. As you watch the obviously the giant Titans there, as he's gonna get.
The cool thing about this is I think just one guy made it, and
Yes.
it's just so you and your buddies can go and fight Titans.
Mm-hmm.
Isn't that
And apparently he loves all the female anime characters a lot, and he just wants to play as them in Simp. I love it.
all right? So it has that Spider-Man swinging aspect to things, which everybody seems to love nowadays. That's like the hotness is that motion, and obviously anytime you get eaten by a Titan, that's pretty fun. But I don't know, looks. I mean, it's only 14 seconds, and I'm sure that maybe we can get a demo of it or something. But it seems like it'd be pretty fun to check out. By the way, I really appreciate the Titans man breast here. Give it up for the man boobies right there. That's good stuff. Yeah,
Titans come in all different shapes.
that's right.
And
We don't
sizes.
discriminate on Titans, which is great.
Yeah.
It's good.
They don't even have any dicks, though. It's weird.
It's weird. It's weird. Blabs, are you? Do you ever watch? Have you ever watched Attack on Titan?
No, but I do like the music. So I have listened to a lot of the music, but I know how it ends, and I think the ending's absolutely garbage. So I'm like, I'm not gonna bother wasting my time with this. It's not even a happy ending. Fuck that. So
Flash, would you? I don't know. Does that get you excited to dive right back in to Attack on Titan when you look at a fan-made game like that?
No, but I appreciate that stuff. I think it's cool. I think the game would probably get pretty boring after a little bit because I think that's all you literally do is just kill Titans over and over again.
Right.
I don't like games like that. It's the same reason I don't like that Dynasty Warriors series. You know what I'm talking about?
Mhm.
You just fight waves of enemies over and over again.
Right.
It's not really for me.
Yeah, the Dynasty Warriors series. Some people swear by it, but
I love it.
it's more or less just like it's a zombie game. I said it's just waves over and over and over again. And I don't know, like after I do that, like I love the original Call of Duty Zombies. I loved it. Right. And the idea was how many waves can you get to? What level can you get to? It's like, oh, I got to level 13. Oh, great. But I don't think I want to play a full game built around that. That's just I don't know. The Dynasty Warriors thing never really gravitated with me. But
See, I'm already getting told it's an L take.
I know right there. What an idiot. Oh my gosh. Yeah.
If you like them, that's fine. I'm just not into them.
That's right. Elite Neo knows different strokes, baby. That's right. Different strokes for different folks. All right, let's go and move on to our final story of the day. No, we got two. We got two more stories. Did you see? Okay, Flash, are you a fan of sports?
I really like college football.
Okay. In sports, there's been a lot of controversy, I'd say the last decade or so, as we've become a little more sensitive about things. The Washington Redskins are no longer the Redskins. The Washington Redskins they changed their name to the football team. Their nickname was so bad, they had to change their name to just football team while they figured out another nickname, right? So they changed their name to football team. Now they're the Washington Commanders. Okay. And there's actually blowback from a lot of Indian and Native American tribes and communities that have said, no, change it back. We like the Redskins because it's a point of pride and all this stuff. But there's been controversy. And then you have the Atlanta Braves. People talk about changing their name. Then you have the Kansas City Chiefs, which is where we land now. As there was a young Kansas City Chiefs fan who was at a game, and like you're a kid, you're like 8 years old, you're excited, you want to support your team, you want to put the face paint on, you want to get dressed up as your favorite player. Well, this little young lad was put in the crosshairs of the internet, specifically Deadspin, which is the Kotaku of sports. Deadspin came out, and they have this article. The NFL needs to speak out against the Kansas City Chiefs fan in blackface and the native headdress. So they show this picture of this little boy here, and you can see one half of his face, and it looks like he does have black on one half of his face, but they don't show. This is very deceptive, as on the other side of the face is red, because guess what? That's the team's colors, red and black and white and yellow. Those are the Chiefs colors. So they made this big hoorah about this. And obviously Deadspin and their art and their editors are trying to,
the writer should change his name to Karen J. Phillips. First off, you piece of shit. What a piece of shit that guy is.
Karen.
To do that.
Look at it.
That's why he should change it to Karen. Karen. What a piece of shit. Yeah, there's a good example. It's just kids having fun. This fucking scumbag takes this little kid and tries to ruin his life. A kid. These are the worst fucking people in the world. These fucking woke pieces of shit are all just nasty motherfuckers that just want to burn people to the ground. They don't give a fuck who they are, how old they are, whatever. They want to burn them all to the ground, destroy them so they can get a little clips here and there. What a sick thing to do.
Well, he went out on Twitter and he was trying to defend himself over this whole thing. And he's been very adamant that he's right and you're wrong. And this is the senior writer at Deadspin, which is, this is exactly what you'd expect from Deadspin. Like I said, Deadspin is the Kotaku of sports. Their job is to go in and make you feel horrible about yourself and make you feel bad for liking sports. Just like how Kotaku does that with video games. So here he is right here. He says, for the idiots in my mentions who are treating this as some harmless act because the other side of this face was painted red, I can make the argument that it makes it even worse.
Like, go fuck yourself.
Right. Says
He's
y'all are
just
the one
finding stuff to be upset about. That's all this guy does. It's sad.
Y'all are the
I
ones.
hate these motherfuckers. I really do.
I'm
they're
with
the
you.
worst. They're the worst. They're the worst fucking people on the planet.
Yes.
They've ruined this society. These are the fucking. This motherfucker right here is one of the people that have ruined our country with all their bullshit, putting everything, like calling everybody racist and sexist every fucking day. These people have ruined this country.
Do you think that if he was just like, yo, my bad, look,
Now fuck him. I'm tired of. I'm out of apologies and forgiveness for these people. I really am. I'm so tired of these motherfuckers, man. I'm so sick of them.
The thing about it is when you scroll down and you look, you're like, well, let's see what people have to say. Oh, wait, he locked his post, so you can't respond to it. Only accounts that feed his narrative can reply. It's like, what a piece of crap. What a piece of crap here to do this. And to kind of throw this at the idea of like, well, it makes it worse because the kid had red on his face too. Talk about grasping for straws. It's sad, man. It's sad to see.
He's mad people looked into it.
Yes.
And so, he's got red on. Oh, it's the team colors. Fucking liar. Caught in the act.
Yeah, 100% caught in the act. And he will continue to double down and triple down because he's right, you're wrong. And if you look at his timeline, it's all the same. It's all the same talking about this nonsense. It's all the same trying to get people riled up for nothing. And like these kids, like he's probably 8 years old. Could you imagine taking an 8-year-old to a game and then having his face plastered all over social media because one guy with an agenda wants to come in? Like this kid's probably in third grade, second grade.
Doesn't even understand
Has
really
no idea.
all these things. Yeah.
No idea. And like, this kid probably lives in the Kansas City area. and his parents are probably getting bombarded by, like, oh man, did you see Timmy on Twitter or whatever? It's like, what a joke.
And
It's
that kid
pathetic.
probably was so excited to,
Yes.
get all dressed up for his team. And, it's like putting a little costume on. And I'm sure that kid was probably so hyped to go and do that and have fun. And then you got this fucking scumbag who comes in and tries to cancel an 8-year-old.
Right. And as pointed out by Bobby Burak over here on Twitter, he says, to recap, a little boy, maybe 5, attends a Chiefs game with his face painted half red, half black. CBS showed only an angle with the black side. Photos emerged from the red side. Deadspin ignored the full photos and smeared the kid as racist. Like, how do you smear a kid? Kids don't understand any of this nonsense.
Yeah, exactly.
It's so sad. It's so sad. And Deadspin has been on the brink for years, just like Kotaku, and they will meet their maker. And it's
I can't wait.
It's stuff like this. And when it happens to Kotaku, when it happens to Polygon, when it happens to Deadspin, the internet will be a better place because of it.
I can't wait that reminds me of Kotaku. I cannot wait for Kotaku to go out of business. The moment that announcement comes, I'm going to fire a live stream up. We're going to dance on their grave.
He's going to have a cigar, smoke a couple
Yeah.
joints. Woohoo!
Yeah, it'll be fun. We
I'll
just had a
join you.
couple of them. We just had a couple of them go out a bit. Vice is pretty damn close, but they invested. Somebody went in the last minute and gave them some money.
Jeez, it's crazy. It's crazy how
Craig did it.
Yeah, it was me. I'm the secret benefactor
Secret
to
donor.
Vice. All right, let's move on to another story. But before we do, by the way, this next story is about Disneyland, which will be great. Are you a Disneyland fan, Flash?
Oh, it used to be.
Used to be. All right.
And so they decided to tell me to go to hell.
All right, let's go and get over here. Blabs, I think we did miss that. Go ahead and read that off from Addicted to Drums.
Addicted to Drums for $10 says, Blabs, which is better, bread and butter or dill pickles? And I'm going to have to say, pickles. If you put pickles in a sandwich, it just changes everything. It just does, okay? It makes it so much better. I like pickles. I had pickles in my sandwich yesterday. It's fine. It's fine, Craig.
Flash, there are times where we just let Blabs go. Just let her go. Just take the leash off and just let her run around.
And then you're like, okay, that's nice. You can go in the corner again.
Eventually, Blabs just makes her way back to the house, and she
Sits down again.
All right. Dan came in with the 5, says, I think the old Shrek design was trying to capture the original book design art style, working into CGI animation, but thank God they changed it. I didn't know there was original book. I didn't know there was a book for Shrek originally. That's interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know that either. It's interesting. Yeah.
Scarfy says, back in the old days, they called this called muck raking. Thanks, Scarfy. Appreciate that. Commodore Fan 64 says this writer would have a meltdown at a UGA football game. The kid did nothing wrong. That's right. A Georgia football game going with all the red and black there. Oh my gosh. And Winterfell says it's a little kid dressing as a mascot. He clearly idolizes a harmless and fun sign of support for his team. I hate cancel culture. You don't have to hate, like, cancel culture is one thing. You just hate people like this who. And hate's a strong word, but these guys are insufferable. Like, what a pain in the ass these people are. And Sparta Chris says, that writer even blocked the native patriot on Twitter, a Native American who's proud to be a gun-toting American. There you go.
Who is that? I want to follow this person. I'm going to look him up right now.
The Native Patriot on Twitter. There you go. All right. Let's go to our final story of the day, guys. Appreciate you everybody popping in and being a part of our show today. If you guys are new, do us a favor, hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. We'd love for you guys to join us tomorrow. Give it up for Kratos O'Grados for coming in with the massive $69 direct donation earlier. Really appreciate that, Kratos O'Grados. All right, let's go to Disneyland. As news came out over the last couple days, as videos were circulating around social media, as a man entered Small World. Have you heard this story, Flash, about the Small World ride?
Oh, the guy that got naked.
Yes.
It's a normal day at Disney nowadays, though.
Right.
I mean, have you? I'll let you get into the story, but people are pooping in lines and stuff there. It's bad.
It's a mess.
And I'm not kidding.
No,
I'm not kidding about that. They have a code for it.
Yeah. we talked a little about this before, which is funny because this is, yes, there's a code for this, but there is a code for this and there has been a code for a long time. This is something that is very standard in the theme park world. The problem is that more people are pooping, and the use of the code is more widely used as opposed to in previous years. I think it's more of a reflection on society than anything else. And this also is a reflection on society. But
I'm more baffled that people stand around and just let these people take a shit in the line.
Right.
Like, if someone pulled down their pants and started shit in front of me, I would probably push them over and say, "What the hell are you doing?"
Shit on the ground.
Right.
That's what really blows. It's not so much the shitting; it's the fact that the people just stand there and don't say anything. Like, this person is taking a giant dump in front of you,
especially around kids.
Yeah, exactly. It's all kids there. Well, it used to be.
Now the old Disney adults, man. I got to be honest. I had a come to Jesus moment because I love Disney for a long time. Disney was a big part of my childhood, like I'm sure it was probably a lot of everybody here. But obviously, Disney has gone down a dark path, and I am not alone in saying that I have no interest in going to Disney. I have no interest in watching their product, which is reflective of their box office and their revenue. But I had to make a decision even before that, where I was like, am I going to be the weird guy who goes to Disney, by myself and likes to walk around? Because I went to Disney. I had a free pass, and I went there in October of last year. I went to Epcot, and I went early in the morning because I was like, I'll spend a couple hours here. It's a free pass. And I went to Epcot, and I walked around by myself, and I felt so creepy weird walking around, just admiring all these families, like just going on rides by myself. I felt so awkward and crazy. I was like, I'm never doing this shit again.
Anyways, see, you're at Epcot. Why are you riding rides? The only ride that you ride at Epcot is the drinking ride, where you go to every country and you drink like their special drink.
Hey, been there.
Drinking around the world.
Listen, legitimately one of my favorite memories of going to Epcot. I've done that before. It's spectacular. I was lit up. But I don't know if this guy was, who went to Disneyland and pulled down. He just got totally naked. Disneyland streaker arrested after wandering naked through It's a Small World ride, showing off his small world. Video circulating around social media on Sunday showed an unidentified 26-year-old man walking through It's a Small World in just his glasses and underwear, leaving his shoes next to a pile of clothes that he left lying around somewhere in the ride. We're not going to show any of the videos, but here he is just making his way through. Once again, if you see this happening, if you see a guy walking around in Small World naked, and you're a parent, and you have your children next to you, isn't your kind of obligation to get out of the ride, and you'll ultimately get kicked out?
Shield your kids' eyes, everything.
No, and like take that guy out, right? Like do you shield your kids' eyes first, or do you go after the guy? Which one do you go after?
I think you get the kid away from the guy as much as possible, and then you tackle him the fuck out.
I would want to get my kids away from that person. Mm-hmm. That's a crazy person.
Yeah, that's not normal. That's one of them stabby ones.
Gonna pull a little pea shooter out of their butt, start shooting everybody.
Right.
If you watch enough, if you read enough Kotaku articles, you know anything will fit up there.
Right.
The more you learn.
There are videos. There's videos that have been passed around of the guy going across, and he got stopped at the other side of the canal. But if you're, maybe the anal. There's another video of security police officers dragging the streaker out of Disneyland as another man shouted, rightfully so, "Idiot!" in front of all these kids. And this happened earlier in the morning. It was later reopened at 3:00. The man was arrested on. This is crazy. The man was arrested by Anaheim police on suspicion of indecent exposure and being under the influence of a controlled substance. So he went to Disneyland, high as a kite, took off all of his clothes, and now, how are you arrested on suspicion when everybody there on camera is like, hey, that guy's dingus is hanging out?
Well, it's because you're innocent until you're proven guilty.
Yeah, you have
I mean,
to say under suspicion or suspected legally.
Right.
Some
right,
people
right.
are saying he was in his underwear, and I thought he was too. That's why I was thinking he could have a gun.
Well, I don't know. I'm gonna look at some not
Don't
safe
they
for
do
work.
metal checks at Disney?
No, I think sometimes. I don't know. I haven't been there in a
Universal,
long
they
time.
have the metal detector check, so you can't bring knives and stuff in there.
I'm watching videos of this guy. He is definitely not in his underwear.
I saw
100%.
pictures of him. He had underwear on still, but I'll take your word for it. I didn't look deep into it.
Well, he definitely does not have underwear on in this. So I will say that. And there's a video of him getting. I'd share my screen, but his dingus is clearly would be in everybody's face. Of him getting dragged out, he has some sort of diaper or something on as he's getting dragged out. So let me see. Yeah, he probably had underwear on at some time, but he definitely does not have underwear on in the video that I'm watching. So Torgo says, Craig, stop looking, for God's sakes. I'm looking at him getting dragged out, man. I can't stop looking. No, more like a me problem than a him problem. But I'll say this, man. That's obviously a messy situation. And as a parent, like you would like to think that you can go to Disney World. You go to these places to escape this nonsense. But here we have these idiots just infiltrating. Could you imagine if, let's just say, Walt Disney saw this happening? What would he do at his park? You know, let's say he's alive and he's in his prime or whatever, and he sees this guy walking around. Would Walt Disney go and gang tackle this guy and sack him like he's a quarterback?
We just lost so much class in the last couple decades.
Yeah.
Even the way people dress, from acting, everything is just like, behave yourselves. And, bring back mental institutions and all that, yeah.
Dude.
That's really the biggest problem with everything, is that we don't have any mental health stuff for people anymore. All of it's been defunded or shut down, and that really is like a major problem, and it just gets brushed under the rug.
And everyone just praises it like, oh, I have this, I have that, oh no. It's like, okay, yeah, learn to deal with it, come back to society. Don't just be like, oh, I'm allowed to act like
we'll
this
just
because
give
I'm
you
special.
just give you these SSRIs and send you back out there.
That's saying the quiet part out loud, is that everyone talks about how important mental health is, but everyone wants to be more or less sedated by drugs as opposed to actually get treatment for it. You know, it's like, oh, well, we'll just hand you these pills and you'll be all right. Like,
We don't treat anybody, and we let people. In fact, in a lot of ways, we encourage the mental illness of people.
Oh, 100%, absolutely. It's crazy to see how much we're like, hooray, you're so courageous. It's like, nah, man, you're messed up. You know, it's nuts. Trevor came in as a member for 26 months. Says, yo, Flash, I just found a manga called Tenkaichi. I think DB Tenkaichi. How about you read?
It means tournament.
Okay, I don't understand. I can't read any of this. Flash, you read this off because I don't understand what any of this means.
So, yo, Flash, I just found a manga called Tenkaichi. Think DB Tourney, Yu Dark Tourney, plus Kenshin swordplay, berserk art, and brutality. Look it up. It's effing gnarly. I will check it out. That sounds pretty cool.
Wow.
That's a bunch of really good stuff all mixed into one. Different animes there, Craig. Got the Dragon Ball tournament, Yu Yu Hakusho Dark Tournament, a Kenshin swordplay, which is an anime, Kenshin, and then Berserk, of course. I mean, that's the god of all Japanese exports right there.
Well, thank you, Trevor. You almost got me to read a bunch of things I don't even understand what I'm looking at. Appreciate that. Sparta Chris says, it went from treating mental illness to affirming and promoting mental illness. Bring back sanity in asylums. I don't disagree with you. Don't disagree with you at all. Dude says, rather go to Busch Gardens. They have better rides. Apparently, better bushes.
There's this one ride at Busch Gardens where it drops you up and then it lets you go and then it brings you back up. But I always go pull the lever, cronk, and then when it drops you, I'm like, wrong lever. That's my nerd part.
All right, we got one last little thing for you, Flash. I'm excited to share this with you. This is messed up. I don't really know how to say it any other way than this, but everybody has their insecurities. You know, for women, sometimes they want to get bigger boobs or they want to lose some weight, or when guys, they may want to put on weight, right? They want to get bigger biceps or have a bigger chest or have better calves. For some men, though, they want to be taller. And there is a new surgery or some sort of treatment that is being done where men are going through this to gain a couple inches of height. Have you seen this, Flash?
Yes, it's crazy to me. Like, but for men, that's a big deal. Is height? You know, I mean, look at these. Have you seen those videos of women at bars like whipping out tape measures
What?
and trying to see how accurately tall like a man is?
No, I have not. Sounds
Yeah, that was
crazy.
a thing going. I don't know if it was just a couple videos or if that was an actual trend, but there was a couple that came out in the same week of these women just taking tape measures up to these guys at bars and making sure that they're, you know, well, as long as he's 6 foot and something like that, 5'11".
So this is interesting because this guy looks like he adds like 6 inches to his height. I can't believe that's totally accurate here, but it looks like extremely grueling.
It
here.
looks painful.
Yeah,
Awful.
it does.
But you really got to commit to this. I apparently that someone was saying in the chat. I'm sorry, I missed that. They
Just
break
be a
your
short
shin
king.
bones.
Just be a short king.
But look at how
As
much-
long
look
as
at how much-
you're, I'm telling you, as long as you're successful and you have a couple of bucks, women really don't care at the end of the day.
Wow, that's
So-
crazy.
Also, a lot of women are really short, so anyone who's taller than you is still tall. So.
So this guy added.
I just don't like bums. They don't like people. Women like guys that have something to their name. That's really it. Your insecurities as a man really don't matter. Like, you could be a fat, ugly dude as long as you've got something going for yourself. Like, women will still go for you.
Well, that guy added 4 inches to his height right here. 4 inches. That's crazy.
I want to see what
That is-
happens in 50 years. What is arthritis? What does his knee look like? Things like that. Because this can't be healthy. This can't be normal.
Like, and these guys are like, they're like how they have to walk. How do you describe? How do you tell people like what? Well, I'm trying to add 3 inches of height.
Don't they actually put that inside of you too, like to stretch you out?
Man, I don't know.
Or they just, is that something that's just goes
Maybe
from,
when you're a
'cause it's,
child and it helps, like if you had an injury or something like that, they put in. But I think as an adult, I think it's pretty risky.
I mean, look at this guy. Look, this guy added, I don't know, another 3-4 inches on him. It's massive. I mean, and could you? Okay, let's just say okay. I'm 6'3". I'm pretty tall guy. 6'3.5", whatever. And when I go play basketball, I'm a pretty tall guy, right? Because I'm playing against guys who are like 5'10", 5'11", 6 foot, right? But could you imagine if you were to put an extra 3 inches on me, and all of a sudden I became 6'6", 6'7", 6'8"? Like, that's legitimately a game changer from a height perspective. Because then all of a sudden your reach gets longer because you're reaching up 3 extra inches. Your jump
You
gets
can
higher.
see people all over the place.
But do you have to walk like that the entire time? Like, do you regain any sort of regular motion? You know,
I think they do.
This is a good question. Like, are your legs super weak? Are you?
yeah,
is this
because you're just
strictly
stretching.
That's crazy.
You're not
man.
building any new muscle there. It's just stretching. And then I have questions about your bones and
Yeah.
oh, like that's I don't know, man.
Milk. They're more susceptible to breakage.
I could only imagine. That's just crazy to think about. But someone, maybe it was you, Blabs, you said this is the equivalent of like the women's boob job.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't say that, but it technically is. It's like the nose job, boob job, any type of like prosthetic surgery is basically just to enhance your looks. And this
Body
is what these people are
modification.
doing. Yeah, this is exactly what they're doing. It's the same. But a fun fact, I actually have a friend who's 6'8", and anytime I was at the bar and I couldn't find someone because I'm a short ass at 5'4", I'd ask him where's so and so, and he'd be like, "Oh yeah, she's over there." I'd be like, "Thanks, man." Completely crowded room, and I can find my way.
That's right. Easy breezy.
It's nice being tall.
Hey,
It
Sparta
is.
Chris Cateman says taller people apparently have shorter lifespans. What? Oh,
That's okay. I'll trade the couple of years for the extra
Because they
inches.
took an arrow to the knee, so they don't live long.
Oh, that's a deep cut right there. It's from 2010 called. That's good. Took an arrow to the knee. And this wouldn't go well in NYC, where there's new anti-discrimination law against height and weight just went into effect. Really? I didn't know this. There's
How do you prove that?
Right. Well, yeah. How do I say somebody discriminated me because I'm taller? And,
Yeah.
and what's the right height? That's the good question. Like,
Oh, you can reach the top shelf. Oh.
Well, at the right height, a woman would say 6 foot and up.
I guess I don't know, but like, what does the law say now? How do you discriminate against? Like, do you,
Would you date a short guy, Blabs?
I have never dated a short guy, no. But I mean, I've also never really met a short guy. I'm 5'4".
What if he's rich and short?
I mean, I think there's more to life than looks. Personality for
Like
me is
money.
A huge thing. No, personality for me is a huge thing. I like really funny guys. So I mean, if he's funny and short, I don't really care about the short thing. It's kind of a bonus when they're taller than you, but yeah, it is what it is.
Spoken like a girl who's never dated a millionaire.
No, I haven't.
She'd like to. She's
Right,
open.
right.
She's open to it.
No.
Oh my God, that'd be awesome. Scarpy says, at least we know where Gavin Newsom sent the hobos. There you go. They're talking about Disneyland, I would imagine. Thank you, Scarpy. And
It's a good
Dan
place for him.
says, I'm 5'11". I don't need this in my life. Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, he's right there. 5'11" is.
in
You
great
get some
shape.
shoes. You're still right at 6.
Captain Furlaw says, wasn't the leg extension on South Park 10 years ago? Right. I also heard rumors that I think it was Ronaldo or maybe it was Messi. Messi's the soccer player. I heard rumors
Yeah.
that he got that done too.
Nah, he's still really short.
I know, but he was shorter.
Nah.
I don't look it up, Lab. See if you can find it.
Okay.
Let's see.
I doubt. Press X for doubt.
And my boy, the Shagsworth, came in with his super beard. Says, we are so bored as a human race that we're just experimenting on people. It's wild. Also, Hell Yellow Flash and side scrollers. Thanks, Shags. Appreciate
Hail
it.
Shagsworth. He's not wrong there in some way. Not the board thing, but we've been doing experiments on humans quite a bit lately. Did you read about that? It's like I think China had an actual human chimera.
No.
They're working on some monkey that has a different skin color now, and
All this sounds like it could only end up in positive places.
but we
I'm
have
sure.
CRISPR, we have a gene editor, and in the future, that's going to be how all babies are made if you've got money, like Gattaca. Remember that movie?
Oh, Gattaca. Yeah. It's a horrible idea.
That's going to be what happens. They're going to have designer babies everywhere.
So, according to Messi, by the way, Messi had to be injected with growth hormones in his leg each night when he was only 12 because he had a growth issue. He wasn't growing when he was younger. He had deficiency. Hormone deficiency.
I heard
We'll
something about
have,
him.
I think we'll eventually have we'll be able to make like superhumans in some ways. We'll be able to build people better muscles, better everything.
Well, hopefully they build back better than our economy, which would be great.
Imagine if you could take the genes from an animal, literally like out of a Marvel comic, and splice them in with a human and give a human like a
Speed like a
super
cheetah.
strength. There's some speed,
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Yikes. No.
That's
thank
gonna
you.
happen. It's gonna happen eventually.
Will it happen in our lifetime?
I think we could already do it right now if we wanted to, but it would probably, I mean, you're going to have so much trial and error with that. This is why it won't happen in America because we have too many regulations, but China doesn't give a fuck.
Oh, it's
You'll
happening.
see
in
it come out
America.
of them.
I guarantee it's happening in America, just behind closed doors, for sure. For sure.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong. A lot of missing people every year.
AZ, I think it's how he said. I'm sorry, I just butchered your name. It says, if you want to seem taller, just wear cowboy boots or dress shoes. Short kings. Let's go.
It's true. Cowboy boots add a couple inches.
Yeah, give it up for all of our short kings in the chat. If you're a short king in the chat, make sure you hit the thumbs up. Appreciate that. And Ishmaster came in and says, all those dudes were decent looking and in great shape and had the means and the time to get this procedure done. I wonder if they got it to get girls. 100%.
100%. Yeah.
Absolutely.
100%.
Listen, every guy, I'm telling you this right now, every guy specifically at that age makes decisions with one thing in their mind.
Vagina.
Bingo. That's right.
It's true because that's how I was.
100%.
Oh, you too.
Yep. You got it. Vagina. All right. That's awesome.
Speaking of
Not
that,
have a vagina.
Yes.
you just muted yourself.
No, I didn't. I'm good.
Not have a vagina.
Do not have a vagina.
No.
That's true. No. I do not have a vagina. Thank you for that. All right, man, that was a fun show today. Flash, I appreciate you coming on, man. It's always a pleasure to catch up. I know you've been busy with all the stuff you got going on and with life, and I appreciate you taking time, man. It's always fun to have you on. I encourage everyone to head over to the Yellow Flash Productions channel over on YouTube and subscribe to the 429,000 people who have subscribed to our boy Yellow Flash. Flash, do you have anything you want to promote before we say adieu?
Check out Flashcast and my channel. And
Get on
you
it.
can follow me on Twitter right there, or X Twitter, whatever you want to call
Give
it.
it to you.
That's right. With 87,000 followers. Look at that.
Damn, bro.
Hit that, bro. Love that. Good stuff. All right. Appreciate you, buddy. Always a pleasure to have you on. Guys, do us a favor. Hit the thumbs up button on your way out. I will not be live playing video games this afternoon. I can't wait to finish up Mega Man 10, which will most likely be tomorrow as we hit the finale of the Mega Man Funathon. That'll most likely be, once again, tomorrow.
Is that the last one?
There's a Mega Man 11, but I don't think we're going to
that's
add it to our...
right.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to get there. So we're probably going to finish with Mega Man 10, which
How do you feel about
totally
9, 10, and 11? Those ones don't have the original creator, right?
Yes. Number 9 is awesome. Number 10, I'm enjoying because I don't think I played it when it came out. I thought I did, but I guess I didn't because it's like playing a new Mega Man game to me. So I am enjoying it. It's obviously different. The thing about the OG Mega Man games like Mega Man 2, Mega Man 3, Mega Man 1 is that you played them a million times, so you know all the secrets, and it's like you get this nostalgic fun while playing it because you're really good at it as well. But the new games, they're challenging, they're tough, but they are really, really fun. I enjoyed 7 and 8 more than I thought I would. That was the one on the ones on the Super Nintendo and PlayStation.
Yeah.
And then 9 and 10 were fun. They are fun. But 11, if we get to 11 and we add 11 to our playthrough, 11 I didn't enjoy a whole lot. So if we get it, I need to get it a second glance for sure. So
8's great just for the cheesy anime dub.
it's bad. It's bad. It is very bad. Dr. Wywee. Dr. Wywee over here. It's good. That's crazy. All right. Well, a lot of people asking about the Mega Man X games getting in there. And it's actually a great question. 6% who don't like potatoes.
Right?
Is the poll still going?
I just ended it with 969 votes.
Let's
93% said they like potatoes, and 6% said no. And 6% shall be banished to the realm of potatoes.
I like that we got like that. Generally, the rule with polls is that if you have 1,000 people vote, that's like a good cross section of America, or at least that was like 20 years ago. So, I think that's a pretty accurate thing. Maybe 93% of the world likes potatoes, and the 6 or 7%
are just
for some reason
weird.
don't like starches, which is crazy. So
that's most studies are a sample of 1,000 people.
Yep. All right. Let's get out of here, guys. Once again, hit the thumbs up button on your way out. Appreciate everybody popping in. Go subscribe to Yellow Flash over on YouTube. Follow him over on Twitter. And, of course, you can do the same with us as well. If you're new, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Follow us over on Twitter at SidescrollerPod and Instagram. We're trying to get to that 1,000 number. That'd be really, really great. With that said, guys, have a great day. Remember, you only got one shot, man. You get one shot at this thing on Earth, so we might as well take most advantage of it. And remember, people are going to try to keep you down. Don't let them. You guys got a goal. Go get it. We'll see you guys tomorrow, 11 a.m. Central Time for Side Scrollers.